Hello everybody, welcome to Adventures with Paul, starting the Gap in C&O from Connellsville PA. I think I'm pronouncing that one correctly. I had a problem with some of the villages in Ohio, but Pennsylvania I seem to be alright. I've got 360 miles to my destination. I've got 4.5 days to do it. You know, it's 77 degrees, but in the shade it's not too bad. It's gonna get about to 96 today in the later part of the afternoon, and I should be rolling into camp probably around 5 o'clock, 5:30. Made it to Neville Island after about 6.5 miles. What's on Neville Island? This. Welcome to island living, man. I'm still on Neville Island on the Three Rivers Heritage Trail and enjoying the scenery. Kind of reminds me not of the Pacific Coast. I joke about this section not being scenic, but I do appreciate the fact that there is some sort of bicycle infrastructure to keep things, you know, relatively safe, or safer than just having us ride on a 3-inch shoulder with rumble strips. Detour number uncountable. Well, this is a treat. Big bridge, get over onto the mainland from this island. There's a yacht that's seen better days. I think it should be on this side of the water though. Going into a place that I've been waiting to see for a long, long time, bicycle heaven. This place has got a ton of old bikes, famous bikes, movie props. Excuse me, is this the right way to the museum? Oh, yes, you are going the right way. Cool. This place has a ton of parts. I mean, look at all the derailleurs and shifters and old caliper brakes. This place is not only a museum, but it's a storehouse of old parts. And just about anything you'd want to find for restoring a bicycle. When I entered this place, they had background music from the Cars' Best Friend's Girl, which is a great song, but to avoid copyright infringement, I decided just to record this at home. So there are bikes all over the place. It's amazing, the hundreds of thousands of bikes that you can see as you go in here. And they have some unique ones, such as this custom painted one from the Beatles, not one but 2 bikes that they found wrapped around a tree. So not only are the bikes in the museum, but they brought the tree in as well. And Hey Hey the Monkeys, one of the bikes they rode in one of their videos. And of course, Pee Wee Herman from Pee Wee Herman's Big Adventure Movies bike is here. Just out of bicycle heaven and back on the Three Rivers Heritage Trail. You know, my mood and my disposition is so much better today. I just feel more optimistic about the trip. Even though it's still hot, I'm heading into more flatter ground, except for that long 1% 80-mile climb up to the Eastern Continental Divide. Other than that, it's a flat trip, and I should be able to put on some big miles. My legs feel good, and I'm just ready to kind of sit in, spin, get to my destination, eat and camp. I don't think they're camping on the Gap in C&O. There's the start point. Point State Park fountain. Time to get over that bridge and get to the fountain. Last September I came through here, this section was closed, so I'm basically trying out a new section of the trail for the first time today. Woo! My mood is so good right now. I'm on the trail. This is one of my faves. Crossing the Hot Metal Bridge over the river, you get a great view of downtown Pittsburgh. My 3 previous trips I passed through here, the water park behind me has been closed. But today I see it's open because it's bloody hot and they'd lose a ton of revenue if they didn't open today. I'm 6 miles from Pittsburgh and 325 from Washington. That feels amazing. So last year I took the original route going up and over the river here. Today I'm going to be taking the right turn going southbound and take the alternate loop. Why? Because variety. And variety is the spice of life. Unless you ask my wife, in which she might say turmeric is the spice of life. So the verdict on the McKeesport alternate loop: if you want full-on sun, you want to get a burn or a tan, you want the extra heat during a heat wave, take the alternate that's completely exposed. I'm so jealous. Doesn't look like anyone's in the shelters for tonight. It's too bloody hot. So I did a thing. I'm sick and tired of the heat and the humidity. I'm gonna be so hot tonight, so I'm in the Comfort Inn tonight. Smile! End of day 1 on the Gap. I've got 81 miles on the wheels. I'm in Connellsville. I noped out of the campsite because it was going to be 82 degrees at close to 11 o'clock tonight. And I'm like, no. I booked myself a room here at the Comfort Inn. I currently have a private pool. Really optimistic about today. I checked into the hotel. They said, we're putting you on the 3rd floor, and by the way, the elevator's out of service. I'm like, I don't care. I can carry it up the steps. And I did. It is 6:40, 71 degrees, going up to 97 in the afternoon. I've got about 65 or so to the Eastern Continental Divide, which means it's an all-day 1% climb of 2,600 feet. And then from there, a nice 2% downhill going into Cumberland for about 22 miles, and then 184.5 flat basically to Washington, D.C. This crushed limestone gets all over the drivetrain, so it's important to keep it clean and lubed. Kind of hear how that train horn flows through the valley. Two things of note. One, just been passed by a guy on an e-bike flying by, very low cadence. And number two, I just ate a bug. E-bike mountain biker guy who flew by me with a low cadence was just at a red stop, breathing heavily, taking a break. So I'm rolling right by him. Feeling good. On your left, guys. $8:30. Quick morning stop for coffee. And look at this bad boy. Oh. I just rolled over 22 miles for the day, so that means 22 miles of climbing. That leaves me 43. Oh. Oh, I don't know what it is, but I just rolled into a cold sink. Oh, it was nice. It felt like I got blasted with a thing of air conditioning. Hey, a bunch of turkeys. Right before you pass over the Salisbury Viaduct, there's the Myers Burial Ground. All right. Now onto the Salisbury Viaduct. This is a really cool experience. Riding over this is just a highlight. I mean, where else do you get like high views over a valley? You can see for just forever. Rolling into Myersdale is always fun. That has been an overnight stop on the last 3 times I've come through here. And we stayed at the Morgan Tool, which is really nice. And it's a fun little town. But stopping at the Myersdale station, right at the top of the town's hill, there you got a great model train setup, historical section, a little bit of air conditioning to cool you off, and really good place to just take a break for a bit. You see that off in the distance? That is it. The highest point of the trip. Well, there it is, the Continental Divide. Never have I been so happy to see that. I have been climbing just about 66 miles since Connellsville this morning, and it's been uphill the entire way. And I'm not kidding about that. Now, it's only like a maximum of 1.5% grade, but that over 66 miles really takes a toll. I lubed and oiled my chain this morning, completely cleaned it. Well, now look at the condition of it. It's making a grinding sound, and I can't wait to clean it again, because 66 miles of this lime dust from the trail does take a toll on the drivetrain. And there's the heat. Holy cow. It's always a nice transition as you get out of the tunnel. You've been stuck inside, and then you get to see this vista. It is 6:30 in the morning on Sunday, June 23rd. Temperatures look like they're only going to hit a maximum of 86 today. and there's probably about 50% chance of rain. So we're gonna see what that's like. This was a pretty cool place to hang last night, get some dinner. It's pretty dead here this morning, but that's good because I'm gonna be on the road. Yeah, it's full-on cloud cover this morning, so we may very well get some rain. As you can see, it's nice. I don't even have my sun sleeves on, so the cool air feels really good this morning. This part of the trail is so cool. You just be flying down this mountain next to the tracks, and all of a sudden you look off to the left and you're like, view! I'm looking forward to getting some breakfast, probably by about 8 o'clock when I roll into Cumberland. And then I'll be set for the remaining little more than a metric century. And breakfast over, that's Cumberland. I'm rolling out of Cumberland past this replica of one of the canal boats called the Cumberland, named after the city, no doubt. And gonna make my way down the rest of the 65 miles or so to the Little Pool campsite. Just cleaned off the bike at the Fairfield bike cleaning station, so we'll see how long it takes for all of that lime dust to accumulate now that I'm on the C&O. Behind me is historic Pollock Cemetery. You know how many people are buried there? All of them. The Paw Paw Tunnel, over 3,200 feet in the dark. Walk the bike. You can see it's pretty dark in here. This section coming out of the Paw Paw Tunnel is new. They had this shut down for about 2 years, and then when I rolled through last year, it was only open for about a week. Welp, as usual, I've detoured on to the Western Maryland Rail Trail, and I'm looking forward to the next 13 miles going into Hancock and getting something to eat. My day's goal was Little Pool. I made Little Pool, and it said go about another 5 miles and you're up in Licking Creek. Well, I approached Licking Creek, and there was a homeless guy there with like a gas-powered little mini bike. He had a generator running. I decided to nope out of there. I got into the North Mountain hiker-biker site around 4:30 yesterday after a 92-mile day, and then another rider came in about another hour later, and we chatted for a bit, and then I decided I'm gonna try and lie down and go to bed. So, not the best night's sleep. Welp, another detour. Of course. Just out of the Waffle House. Man, I ordered like a super duper breakfast or something like that. Had everything, and I thought, well, I don't normally order a breakfast this big. I devoured that thing, man. I wailed on it. I'm just gonna walk up and see if I can see these deer. Nope. Passing by an RV resort. I'm looking at the model names of these trailers. Wildwood, Mountaineer, Solitude. Oh, I'm halfway there. Oh, living on a prayer. I love this section of the trail. You're just rolling through the woods and all of a sudden it opens up and you get a wide sweeping view of the river. And then you get to ride like on these concrete pathways abutting the river. So it's a really, really fun experience. Made it to Antietam National Battlefield. This is the famous Dunker Church that was here and witness to the Battle of Antietam. Ooh, feel that? That is a breeze, friends. What do you think? I think yes. Yes, yes, yes. And after our little 7-mile Antietam excursion, we are now back on the C&O Canal. Coming into Harper's Ferry area. This is very scenic and site of the historic John Brown raid. I'm not going to climb the steps to go over to Harper's Ferry today. What I am going to do is come down to the river and see if we can see it from across the way. If you've never been, definitely stop there for a couple hours. Take a look at the history. If you're doing the Gap and C&O for the first time, this is definitely a bucket list stop. Hey, so quick recap on the day. It's about 9:15. The sun's just starting to go down. I've just been relaxing here at camp since around 4 o'clock when I rolled in. I really need to get my hair done. I really need a shower. It's it's pretty sweaty in here. Going through this section, you'd be hard-pressed to believe you're only about 10 miles from Washington, D.C. Good morning. It's interesting seeing this morning. Last year it was all raining and just kind of dark. Behind me you can see what's called the Great Falls, and it's this bedrock formation which necessitated building the C&O Canal where it was. now we get to ride through lovely Georgetown, which is a Washington, D.C. suburb.